Welcome to Technology and Education. Today I'm Richard Smith.
And I'm Caroline Crawford, and we are coming to you from the University of Houston Clear Lake in Houston, Texas, USA.
And today we are discussing what makes good instruction, kind of like the anatomy, the basic building parts of good instruction.
Sounds great.
What's number one?
Well, to start with, we obviously have an instructor or facilitator, and then we have the learners, correct?
Correct, or as I call them, the students.
Yes. But they're learning something.
Yes, the students are learning because the students are studying. Okay.
Woo! Very nice, very nice. So there are 4 components, yeah?
Yes.
So we have 2 basic roles involved. We have the learner and we have the instructor. So the instructor, what are their 2 components?
Okay, so the instructor's 2 components are...
What are they in charge of doing?
The instructor are in charge of, 1, telling the students what they need to know.
Framing the information for them?
Mm-hmm. And getting that in a proper order so that it's not helter-skelter all over the place. So first...
Doing the cognitive component. You're presenting the information,
yes.
the knowledge base, and framing it for them?
In either in a step-by-step order, or if you are constructivist or what have you, I guess you would have them scramble for that information. But strictly speaking, if you tell them that information, that's step 1 out of good instruction.
Makes sense. And what would the next step be?
Showing them what it is that you're teaching them. Illustrations, examples, and so on and so forth. So,
makes me think of a science class where you tell them the information, you tell them the steps you're going to go through, and then you actually do the experiment for the students to see what the process is supposed to be and what the outcomes are supposed to be.
Yes, it's not all that different at any level that you're talking about, with maybe the exception when you were really down in the lower grades, and that it's not. I don't think it's all that necessary to be so specific with the students. You have more time. They don't necessarily have to reach very, very difficult standards in a short period of time, so the students could have more time perhaps to experiment about.
Well, but for the developmental level of the learner, probably I would suggest that would be appropriate. They do need to have the information shared with them. They do need to have it shown to them before they begin working with the information.
Yeah, well, I think, you're right, in that...
Say it again!
Yes, if you consider it that way and really effective, to be effective, yes, they should be told the information and then shown how to use the information. Yes.
I need to be taught that way. Tell me what you're going to tell me. Tell me the information, and then show me how you're planning on using it. Just because it's knowledge I can't memorize unless I understand why.
Right, and it works particularly well, I think, at the adult learner, where you would be applying principles of instructional design. In other words, if you were in an instructional design group for a business, or if you were with a health center and you did a lot of instruction for your health staff, and the instruction had to be well designed, you have a limited amount of time to get that information over to your students. So yes, in these 4 steps, and let's get to the
learner side of it. Okay, so we have the instructor, we're telling, and then we're showing. So on the learner side, then what occurs in the instruction?
Doing.
Oh, well, no, there's an idea.
Yeah.
Once you're shown what to do, then you do it yourself.
Right, you get that hands-on experience, so to speak, whether it's hands-on
practice
with something that is actually physical, or hands-on with a concept, learning how to utilize that concept
within a safe environment.
Right, within a safe environment. So you are getting experience with it. You are using what you've learned previously to do something.
You're testing it, basically. You're applying. You're doing it to test it and make sure that it works as it's supposed to, as suggested.
In the classroom.
Okay.
And then the final component would be you apply that.
Apply it where?
Apply it in the real world, or a simulation of the real world.
Well, that makes sense. Okay, so you've been told the information, you've been shown it, you have worked with it, and now you're actually applying it within the real world environment to see if it's true, no matter what environment you're working in.
Yes, and that gets into
it's like a community practice type thing.
Right, and that gets into that whole idea
Wenger.
of
Wenger's theory, yeah.
Wenger's theory.
Well, it's like a community of learning, but Wenger framed it within a community of practice where you have the modeling and the support structure, the mentorship involved as well in the process. Kind of like the instructor working with the student to apply it out in the real world environment.
And I think that's the key word, the application, because with the application you are actually doing it in the real world, and you are
Knowledge checking what you had learned before and making sure that it actually is sustainable and true.
You're doing that learning by doing process that we always hear people talking about. Oh, I learn best when I actually do it. Well, you could do it without having learned anything, and you're probably going to make a mess of it. But if the first 3 steps come, then finally when you get to the learn by doing part or the application part, you will do a good job.
Makes me think of someone I used to work with.
I'm sure everybody's interested in this.
Was a science instructor during the student teaching phase, set the science room on fire during a lab experiment. It's like, maybe that person shouldn't have shown them what to do because all of a sudden everything went into flames. Brilliant. It wasn't me.
Wasn't her. Good.
I know that thought was going through your mind. Wasn't me.
Okay, so we have tell, show, do, apply, and that's the end of this edition of
Strong instruction. It makes sense.
Of Technology and Education Today.
Oh.
Oh, indeed. I'm Richard Smith.
I'm Caroline Crawford, and again, we are coming to you from the University of Houston Clear Lake in Houston, Texas, USA. Bye!